Okay. I will start with mantra. Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama anistha shrutam me ma prahasihi anenadhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu avatu mam avatu vaktaram avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. All right. Navo Navo Bhavati Jayamano Ahnam Ketu Hushasam Eti Agram Bhagam Devebhyo Vidadhati Ayan Prachandrama Tirate Dirghamayu. He is born new again and again. Literally, Navo Navo Bhavati. He becomes new and new. Jayamanah. The one who is born becomes new again and again. The light of the days, Ketuh Ahnam, marches in front of the dawns. Ushasam Eti Agram. Agram in front, Ushasam of the dawns, Eti moves. The Ketu. Ketu is mainly from root chi or ki with combination like chit from here, consciousness. The ray of light, Ketu also, you know, Rahu and Ketu most probably. Yeah? It's some, can be also like a symbol, yeah? Or like a, something which draws our attention, yeah? On which we fix our consciousness. Because the root chi is to fix, to focus consciousness. And from this focusing, concentrating, the very name of consciousness, chit, comes into being. Yeah? So chinoti chinute, from which chit is produced, is to gather, to focus, to put into focal point, yeah? To concentrate something, to pile up, is consciousness. Consciousness has this amazing ability of holding onto one particular point or some image of things or the object of sense until it becomes totally identified with it and gives it life and self-awareness. This is how it works with the divine being. The consciousness of the divine being is actually like a mirror in which he looks at himself and becomes aware of himself. This self-awareness comes with this focus, with concentration. If I'm not concentrated on this or on that, I'm concentrated on something else, I am becoming aware of it. It becomes part of my identity. So whatever I think in the mind, and mind is that faculty of consciousness to focus itself on any object of sense. If I focus on one thing, I become that thing. If I focus on another thing, I become that thing. So that's the role of the mind. The most important role of mental being, a free choice on what to focus and what to become. So this Ketu, it has that kind of characteristic. It is the ray, the focal ray of the days moved in front of the dawns. Very mysterious description of the creation. It's as if the ray itself penetrated the darkness before the dawns with their light could come. And the dawn is usually the Divine Mother and her support with a greater, grand light, which is vaster. And that ray is already there in the darkness. It's like the flame is already there, waiting for the dawn, calling to the dawn to descend, to come. So this ray moves in front of the dawns, the ray of the days. Interesting. So that kind of like a soul or a psychic being, which will represent the days of the future, moves in front of the dawns. I do not know whether it makes sense to you, but it's like we agreed to plunge into the darkness, and then we called from that darkness to the dawns. And the dawns came to our support and our rescue, as Mother came to rescue the soul of Satyavan, the soul of humanity. He called to her and she came to him. Bhagam devebhyo vidadhati ayan. Also such a beautiful diction. He establishes widely for the gods the bhaga, their portion of delight. Approaching ayan, he establishes the portion of delight for the gods. Who are these gods? Gods are the powers of the Divine Mother, and they will come to our assistance here to help the soul to grow and to expand. So this ray, or this Jayamana who is born, the soul, is establishing the portion for the gods, for the universal powers, the portion of delight. He offers them the Soma, the divine immortality, ambrosia, the sap of enjoyment in manifestation. And they come to his assistance to help him grow. Prachandramach tirate dirgham ayu. The moon prolongs and makes his life long. This is also a very mysterious thing about the moon, because the moon in all the nakshatras is our cosmic home in which we build our bodies. So, and the deity responsible for the life of the body is extending his life, making it longer.
How are the days prolonged, Vladimir? How does he make it longer? Through delight?
Well, he is, yes, he is in charge of Pitriyana or Devayana. Yes, Devayana is in charge of our soul development, and Pitriyana of our instruments of knowledge, our bodies in the embodied state. So in this case, there is someone here, yes, Chandrama, who is responsible for the extension of our embodied state. So our bodies have to be healthy, wealthy, and so on, more capable. So if the soul is establishing the bhaga for the gods, is one thing, yeah? But because of that, because the divine forces will be involved to assist the growth of the soul on Chandrama or the Soma or the moon establishes the longer possibilities for this, prolongs the sacrifice in time and space, in the embodied state of the soul.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see, in one verse, the whole thing is there. It's usually the case with the Vedas. You take one verse, you dig deeper, and you will see the whole vision of the Veda. And then there are interesting words here. Sukhinshukam, Shalmalim Vishvarupam, Hiranyavarnam Suvritam Suchakram, Aroha Surye, Amritasya Lokam, Sionam Patye Bahatum Krenushva. Most probably Sionam Patye Bahatum Krenushva. Ascent, O Surya, onto this chariot decorated with Kinshuka and Shalmali, having the form of the universe, golden in color, perfectly moving with strong or perfect wheels. Rise, O Surya, into the world of immortality. Make this flow, this marriage, blissful for your Lord. O joyful Sionam, happy. What is interesting here, I started to think why Vivaha Vahatu is the marriage. It's actually a kind of a stream, a flow in time and space of something, of the spirit. This dynamic truth is there in the making, in the manifestation, in evolution. So this marriage is this flow. It's not just something static. It's more dynamic, unfolding, moving towards some aim. It has an aim. Otherwise, why should we marry? We marry for something to achieve, somewhere to go. So this is Vahatum as the marriage ceremony. Ascending the chariot of the universal form, these are my thoughts about it, perfectly moving and golden in color. Can you imagine you ascend the chariot which is of universal form, which is perfectly moving and golden in color, like the universe is ascending into the world of immortality. Oh, this is amazing. So it is implied that when she comes down here to this embodied state to marry the material Lord here, to build up the body, it is her ascension to the immortal state. It reminds me of of what is actually said in other places in the Veda, that the gods have to come down to Yajamana, and only thus they can rise to the throne, as it is said even of Mitra and Varuna, they can rise to the place, to the throne, from which they will perceive Aditi and Diti simultaneously. This place from which you see the transcendental and this world, higher and lower hemisphere at the same time, is the view of the Purushottama, of the Lord himself. So if the gods, these universal powers, want to rise in consciousness to the level of the Lord, of the Supreme, they must involve themselves in the sacrifice with the Yajaman. So that is their catch.
I used to always wonder why the gods have to come down into the sacrifice. So you answered it beautifully now. I mean,
Yes,
why the gods necessary for the sacrifice. So here lies the answer, which you explained. Thank you.
right.
Beautiful.
And you see, the mother says the same in different words. She says that everyone has to take earthly body if he wants to change. Yeah. She doesn't
Mm,
speak about this, that the gods will rise. Even gods, even asuras, even great beings, they have to take the earthly body or human body in order to grow in consciousness.
mm,
I think we are all growing into that direction
mm,
because he wanted to be many. You know? That
mm.
means every one of us, unique souls, at the end will
Yeah.
have the supreme qualities. You know?
And then the role of the Yajamana, the psychic being, becomes more clearer because he calls down the gods.
Right. And they are needed for his growth also.
They are needed, yes.
They are helping him to widen the scope.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's all
rise,
connected. Mm.
yes. Everything comes together in this vision. All the kind of faculties and functions, they are becoming meaningful. And once we understand them, well, it changes totally our, outlook for our life and the world. That's the beauty of the Veda. Mm. So, yes, creating, so I've stopped here in my interpretation. Ascending to the chariot of universal form, perfectly moving and golden in color, is like ascending into the world of immortality. You remember immediately, I think I have to stop again here. You remember this of hymn of Agastya Rishi and Indra, when Agastya wants to go to the transcendental and Indra stops him and says, you will not even remember that you were looking there for something because you will dissolve into the
Mm.
original spirit from which you came here down to seek immortality. So we came down here to seek immortality because it's our purpose. Our purpose is to redeem the fallen emanations. We took these fallen emanations onto ourselves. We built from them our bodies, and we are transforming these bodies constantly to bring them back to immortality, as it were. So if you go there, you will remember nothing. You will just dissolve into the
Yeah.
original spirit, and your purpose will be kind of defeated, as it were. But let us look at the fire, let us kindle the fire and make the offering. That is the consciousness of immortality. Yes, Amritasya Chetana. So this immortality can be gained only in the embodied state. This is what I want to say. It may sound like confusing, so rise to this chariot or Surya to come to the world of immortality. But it is exactly what the evolution of consciousness is for. Yes, we have to build the immortality here. Yes, yes.
So therefore, the chariot can also be looked at as the body.
Or the universal body looks Vishwarupa,
Yes,
or
yes,
something like
Vishnu.
microcosm, if you will, if you
Mm,
take it in individual form.
mm.
It's like a, holographic picture, the macrocosm and microcosm.
Microcosm, yeah.
Mhm. Which is also universal, which is also golden, which has all the means as universe has. Yeah,
What is the meaning of Shalmali?
we do not know actually. Nobody translates these things. Kinshuk and Shalmali, you see here from Griffith. I put here these. Kinshuka is some kind of tree. Um, the blossom of this tree,
Mm,
decoction made from the blossom of the tree. Mm.
mm,
Shalmali is a silk cotton tree. So these are kind of trees, most probably ancient sacred trees, like banyan tree or something, which had some significance which we do not know anymore about. We lost the link. It is too ancient. Or
In
maybe,
Vladimir,
yep.
in today's language, it may have changed over the years, but Kingshuka is a flower which is known as the flame of the forest. That means somewhere, and I've seen the flower too.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it in India.
Yeah, it's also called palash. Or that means
Yes.
it's a reddish large
Mm.
flower, and it completely covers the forest in a very
Mm.
reddish
Beautiful.
gloom.
Yes. Yes, like a
That's
flame.
it's
Yeah.
like a flame, yes.
So it's
Mm.
like a flame partaking of the soma of the forest,
Uh,
Something like that.
That's
beautiful.
the mother calls it beginning of the supramental realization.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
oh,
Beautiful.
great.
Thank you.
I didn't know these things. So nice.
Mm.
Yeah, we have to find like, this beautiful flower and put it in front somewhere. Sukinshukam, even with beautiful kinshukam and shalmalim. And shalmali is also another tree or decoration. So the
You're
word,
muted, Gita Shri. You're muted.
It's a tree which possesses all the beneficial effects: astringent, cooling, stimulant, demulcent, diuretic, tonic, aphrodisiac. And
Shalmali?
it,
Shalmali?
it is also beneficial for asthma, diarrhea, all the diseases.
Shalmali.
Shalmali is a tree,
I see. Medicinal.
medicinal.
silk
Yes.
cotton tree. Yeah, we have something is, well, these are the medicinal properties, but there must be something like also spiritual kind of significance of it. They used trees for different relations. For example, when the marriage is described in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, at the end of the Upanishad, we will read it later when we study this Upanishad. There is when the first kind of marriage night is happening, so they actually, bridegroom and bride, they lie down on the bed or on the, and in between they put udumba tree in between themselves. And for 3 nights, they have no relations, no touching, nothing. And that udumba tree is in between them. There's something sacred significance of that tree, which purifies the relations, which removes all the rakshasas, all the other, paishachas who are there gathering to get some energy from them. So after 3 days, they get tired and leave. Then you can have real relationship between two beings. Otherwise, there are too many intermediary beings from the vital world. So this is the idea of another tree, So most probably they had these also too, had something to do with marriage in some way or another. Maybe purifying Shalmali, as Gita Shri said, purifying the substance or the delight, soma, as Sukinshukam, maybe that is the flame or the energy in the delight, like Agni and Soma, something like this. But these are the characteristics of Vishwarupam and Suchakram and Suvritam and Hiranyavarnam, the chariot. These are all the, what do you call them? The epithets or the adjectives to this chariot. So the chariot has these qualities. And so I spoke about of Vahatu already. The word Vahatu means marriage or bridal journey. It is from root Vah, to carry, to flow, to blow, to stream, to flow, etc. It implies the flow of time and maybe even the flow in time together of the spirit and matter, of Agni and Soma, or Surya and Soma, of consciousness and bliss. Bliss which is embodied in the physical framework. We can only guess what it is. We can just open intuitively to it and seek for some kind of insight what it means. But this is an excellent deconstruction of our idea of marriage. Marriage is a unique and very strange thing altogether, that the nature created two different genders, and with their kind of connection produces the offspring. And it is not only in the human or animal kingdom, it is also in the plants. Plants are doing the same. They have a female and male interaction. It's as if the principle is there of this, of heaven and earth coming together, producing, like heaven is father, earth is mother, and space in between is the offspring, the praja, when they come together. And the moment they come together, there is a production of kind of endurance in time and space, prolonging. That's most probably Vahatu, yeah, flowing in time and space of what? Of existence, of the divine existence and consciousness. All right, I'm moving to the next. Ud irshva tach, pativati hi esha, vishvavasum namasa girbhich ire, anyamicha pitrishadam viyaktam, sate bhago janusha tasya vidhi. Rise up from here, the lady who has a husband, pativati, the one who possesses the husband. I seek with love and adoration, ile, I translate with love and adoration, seeking, ile, literally I adore, by voicing my surrender and obeisance, namasa, with obeisance, girbich, with my invocations, vishvavasum. Vishvavasu I didn't translate, we will come to this word. Go, seek another manifesting force or bride in the house of Father. Anyamicha, desire or seek another. Pitri Shadam, sitting in the Pitri's house. Vyaktam, manifesting force. It's actually manifested, passive participle, but I translate it as an active, manifesting, ready to manifest power in that way. That is your portion of delight. Sate bhago, by birth, Janusha, that you discover. Tasya vidhi. Vidhi is know that, know of that. And I translate discover because the vid has this idea of discovering rather than knowing as oneself. Interesting here, it starts a new idea of rising up from here. And it will be in the next verse several times. Rise up from here. Why rise up from here? So she descended to this world, and now once she has a husband, she has to rise up. We will kind of dwell on it more. And I seek, who is this I? We do not know, we can think of. With love adoration, Vishvavasu. Interesting, Vishvavasu is the Vasu, who is universal, luminous dweller within the substance. Yeah? It's nearly like Satyavan or something, soul of humanity. Yeah? I seek with love and adoration Vishvavasu by voicing my surrender and obeisance. Most probably it is she who is speaking. Or in her name it is spoken. Icha, seek, Andiyam. It is somebody else, most probably, who is kind of trying to interfere and to get her instead of the soul gets her. I do not know yet. Anyamicha, desire other one, Pitrishadam Vyaktam, who is in the house of the Father, ready to manifest. Sate Bhaga Janusha. And that is your portion, Te Bhagach, portion of delight by birth, Janusha. Tasya Vidhi, of that you know. To whom it is addressed? Do you have any idea?
Well, when the Christians get married in church, I don't know, this thought just came. The priest says, right, that now they're going to get married. If anybody has any doubt, come up now or forever hold your peace.
Or
So
forever
maybe
shut up?
so maybe it is that they're saying that they should get married, and if there's any doubt in anybody's head, come up now or else hold your peace.
But why then seek another one?
And
other
go
lady?
seek another.
Go seek and criticize somebody else. Don't come here
Go
to
somewhere
criticize
else.
the bride.
This one is already married, chosen her husband.
Right.
I don't know.
Why not? Why not? There's at least something. We didn't have anything.
No, but here he's beginning by saying, rise up from here, the lady who has a husband.
Right.
So she already has the husband. Already has the husband. So I don't know.
No,
I
it is
think
about her. It is about her.
About him.
Yeah, I don't think it is some other lady who has a husband to rise up from here.
No.
Because it would be too complex and too unnecessary for how a lady could, or some other lady could claim the husband.
could the I be also the priest who's singing the hymn, the Rishi?
Well, there was nowhere kind of indication of some priest singing this, nowhere, in no line anywhere. So I'm kind of not accepting it immediately. Maybe, but it is too much to assume that it is written for
It's
the
just a
priest.
thought, yeah.
I think it's her. She herself, when she's married, she's voicing her.
Possible. That's what I thought.
Yes.
It is like a direct speech or your thought.
Exactly. That's
Could it be having attained the universal Purusha here on earth and then go to, like, for the supramental realms and manifest that force? Like,
yes,
go up
something of the
beyond.
kind I thought also, yes.
Yeah, that could be it. You're right.
It's like yes, a sutra for the bride to think of. Vishvavasum namasa girbi hile. Yeah? It's like a direct speech in the mind, as it were. It fits in my mind better. And why it is Anyamicha, desire other lady in the house of the father ready to be married. It is addressing somebody else, yes? Yes, all those rivalries or all those who want to get her hand in marriage. You remember when Sita was there announcing a Swayamvar, all these princes and even Ravana came. They wanted Sita's hand. But she already chose the husband. So she tells them, go and seek somebody else in their fathers. So it is her thoughts in a way, most probably. There's more here. Something is hiding from us. We don't see. Would be nice if we could discover this. It's very close. It's nearly tangible, but okay, let's take another verse and maybe it will become clearer because it's very similar to this one. Ut irshva, again, atach, rise from here. Vishvavaso, now Vishvavaso has to rise from here. The universal soul or the soul of humanity, Vishvavaso. O Vishvavaso, rise from here. Namasa ilamahe tva. We with our obeisance adore you. With our obeisance we adore you, O Vishvavaso. Rise from here. Anyamicha. Seek other girl willing for copulation. This is my kind of translation. Praparviam, very praparvi as the lady who is kind of phantom lady, or lady ready for interaction, sexual interaction, or free lady, let us say.
You know, Vladimir, it just came to me that the priest who's conducting the marriage ceremony has, in the ceremony, once the marriage is done and she has taken that circulation around the fire with her husband, the marriage is complete. So he is telling the other suitors that go seek a bride elsewhere. That's what I thought
also, yes. But
this one is already married.
Right.
And then therefore this verse, rise up from here. He's telling the couple, rise up from here and you can leave now because the marriage is completed. But for the others, he's telling them, go and seek your companion elsewhere, not this particular girl.
So kind of dismissed.
Yeah, dismissing the congregation. Could it be that? Seek thou another willing maid, and telling the bride, with your husband, you can leave.
Yeah, it fits into the kind of setting of the actual happening, most probably. Most probably at this moment they had to get up and leave, yes? Or something.
Yes, they have to stand up and,
But the hymn goes up to 47.
Oh dear. Well, that'll be advice for the married couple, I guess.
I mean that they got the command and now they have to listen for the advice. Yes. All right.
Yes, for the married life, what it should be. I don't know, just guessing here.
Yes, we have to kind of try to guess and so on.
So who was Vishwavasu, do we know? He was a Gandharva celestial musician named Vishwavasu.
Right, this is in the literature you will find all. Vishwavasu, we have to translate it as it is, yes? Because Vishwavasu can be a man, a name, Vishnu can be a name, Shiva can be a name of a man or sage or whatever. But Vishva is universal. Vasu is from root vas, to dwell, and also to shine, and to wear also. But Sri Aurobindo, in one or several places, he translates Vasu as the luminous dweller within the substance. I think this is very good translation for Vasu. And there is the whole class of Vasu gods. There are 8 Vasus. Mahabharata starts with this, when they stole the cow of Dhenu, Kamadhenu. The whole story is starting with 8 Vasus.
Because he got the boon of immortality from Brahma.
Oh, yeah, Brahma, it's all kind of later literature. We don't have Brahma even here yet, because it's Rigveda.
Brahma, not Brahman, Brahma. The creator god Brahma. He
Yes.
got.
Brahman is the Pratipadika form for all these words, Brahma, Brahma, and so on. So one is in neuter, other is in masculine. So it's kind of interesting. In the neuter, it is the spirit, in the later language, Brahma. And in the masculine, Brahma is Prajapati, the creator of the world. And Brahma is also a priest later. Priest of that, from the Agnihotra, who kind of belongs to Atharva Veda, who is a witness of the whole ritual. But Vishwavasu is the kind of universal dweller within the substance, or universal luminous dweller within the substance. I would translate it like this. That means it's some kind of, if it is universal, it means it's like a Satyavan, or the one who represents the group soul of humanity as the individual psychic entity. We try to bring the thinking of integral yoga into it, and Sri Aurobindo's keys. So rise from here, or this from here is interesting. Yeah? From here, from where? From the earth, from the embodied state, rise to what? To rise in consciousness, to the vital, mental, and supramental realms. Yeah? Evolve, rise, grow, move on. Yeah? And we adore you, or we seek you with adoration, with our obeisance, with our surrender. We seek you. Why they seek him with adoration? We all seek him with adoration and obeisance, surrender, because the soul is growing here, of everyone. We recognize the growth of the soul in everyone as our own growth. The more growth souls grow in others, the more we grow in our soul. We are all supporting the growth of everyone. Anyamicha, seek another ready for copulation. Samjayam patya, srija. Samjayam patya srija. Connect the wife with the husband absolutely. I translate some as absolutely, totally, harmoniously. Some srija. Interesting that srij is used here. Srij is to let go, to free, to issue, to release, and then to create. Because all the creation was a release out of the divine. He cast out of himself, and from here to bring to birth. So to say, to create is to out of yourself let go. But samsrija means let go out of yourself in union, in harmony from both sides, as it were, connecting with pati, patiya, jayam patiya samsrija. And interestingly, it does not speak to the Vishwavasu, most probably, or maybe to Vishwavasu, because it's a third person here. Connect the wife with husband. Absolutely. That means wife and husband here is Soma and Surya, but who is to connect them? Absolutely. There must be third party. It's not she who does it. You understand? Yes, the grammar says that there is someone else. Maybe it is this universal soul. Maybe.
Could it be the father
The father, yeah.
of the
Or,
bride
or
who gives away
father
the
is
bride?
in the universal soul. Yes, absolutely. Interestingly, by the way, this is very good suggestion that the soul, the psychic being, is individual spark, but within it or behind it, there is the universal Godhead, or let us say the supreme Purushottama. Krishna says about this, I am Adhyajna in every heart of man. Adhyajna is the one who is presiding over the transformative process. He is leading the soul. The depth, the core of the soul is the supreme. So in that sense, Vishwavasu could be actually the reference to the supreme embodied here in the soul. Oh, it's a very good suggestion, actually. It brings it closer to understand what it is about. All right, and then, or maybe we stop here. Oh, I will read one more, and then we will stop. Anrikshara rijavach santu patntha yebhi sakhayo yanti no vareyam sam aryama sambhago no niniyat samjaspatyam suyamam astu deva. May all your paths, I added all, may your paths be straightforward and thornless. Anrikshara, thornless, rijavach, sincere, straightforward, by which our friends go straight, yebhi sakhayach yanti, no vareyam, to our marriage, or to our choice of marriage. Vareyam is an interesting word. Here it is to be a suitor, ask for marriage, if it is used as the um, as the verb. But to our vareyam, to our choice of marriage, to our choice, may all our sakhas, those who share with us the same space, go by which they would go to us, would approach us. So all the environmental relations may be straightforward and thornless. We should not struggle with our relatives and so on, yeah? And friends for the choice we made. And then sam Aryama, sam Bhago no niniyat. May Aryaman and Bhaga lead us perfectly together. I translate sam as together. Sam Jaspatyam Suyamam Astu Devach, O God's Devach. May there be perfect union of the couple. Jaspatyam Suyamam, perfect union. Okay, I will stop here. It's really loaded with meaning and a very deep and luminous marriage. I wish we knew that, how to do it, the way it is described here. And if you have any thoughts or ideas about, please don't go into your marriages. we keep it on the idealistic level.
Vladimir, I was thinking that of these two things side by side. One is the act of union by eating, and the other is the act of union by marriage. They are two completely different things because there is enjoyment in both, but in marriage, something very difficult is happening, which gives rise to creation of forms, whereas eating is something like a destruction of a form. So, probably throughout the verse, they are talking of an union being brought about with quite some difficulty. So, all
Yeah.
the gods have to be present, and it has to be a perfect time. And that's a sense that I got, that we are assuming here that it's a one-to-one marriage, but it's probably a marriage of many too many. It's like, the kind of traditional multiple marriages that used to happen. Something like that can be imagined over here. That means many couples getting married, many different parts getting united. Can it be thought of like that?
In the universal sense, yes. It's not necessarily the several couples. And I don't think it changes the meaning of one couple or several couples in the universal sense, because if you look at the individual as a microcosm and a holographic picture, we are representing the same powers and have to achieve the same kind of. But you are right, the difficulty is obvious. There are so many, conditioning, so many blessings, so many pointing out to the elements of the marriage. So it has to be all taken care of in consciousness. So if you look at the first kind of production of the offspring, it's all about continuing of the race in time, yes? So how would you continue prolong the divine being existence in time? So you need to produce the offspring. And
Not only that, the Vahata gave me a sense of an universal dance together in the dynamism of time. Like, you know, it's a pair that has to stick through thick and thin, and with all the changes and variations that happen. So something like it's a flow, but it's also like a dance. I mean, it has to be a very harmonious dance. Sorry for butting in. You were saying something. Sorry.
no, I'm fine. I think this is more a modern idea of dance and love and all that joy. It is a part of it, definitely, of the marriage. But otherwise, you don't need to marry, and you don't need to produce offspring. You can dance yourself and enjoy yourself to the full extent as it is done today. The people don't want marriages, don't want responsibilities. They lost the sense of offspring. Here, offspring, I believe, is the major topic. Because if you look at the creation, how could you create another being in time and space and allow the soul to come in and to continue the journey of the whole race? This is a profound arrangement. It's an amazing arrangement in a way. Because so many souls will continue the evolution of this group soul through this act. And that's why most probably the most important institution in India is marriage. And departure, death, two things. Marriage and death. Everybody comes to it. So there's something fundamental here. I'm trying to figure out that part. This ordinary part is what we are already. It's kind of clear, more clear than that, like universal birth, of the being in time, and Vahatu as the movement in time of two souls. Sri Aurobindo beautifully says in Savitri, and the meeting on the roads of half-known souls. So why we are half-known? We do not know each other, but we still meet on the roads of time, and something happens, and we have offspring, and it continues the journey, and this offspring will produce other offspring, and children and children after children, and then those children will become our parents in the next birth. So, and we will continue the journey. So there is something here in this flow which is more essential. And one should not look at the production of children as something lower. I think it is much higher, really much higher than we look at it today, with all our laws of abortion and God knows what. So these quarrels in politics, it's so ugly and so basic and so even below animal level. But here it's kind of a divine event, In Brihadaranyaka, when they come together, when man approaches his wife for the first time, he says, this literally, he says, I am heaven, you are earth. Let us join together to produce, to bring to birth a powerful, mighty, and luminous sun, offspring. It's all about this, to continue the world. It's totally different consideration than we have today. Today, children come accidentally, and we kind of think twice whether to have them or not. It's not this way of looking at the world. I'm kind of a little skeptical about today, but very few people are totally conscious what they do. And nobody has this idea of continuing the world, creating a beautiful offspring, spiritual being who will embody the spirit and prepare us for the future embodiment. I want to keep this uplifting kind of diction of the hymn, not to go to because this is a very slippery ground, marriage. One can easily fall into something what Western tradition does. You don't want to be there because it's not that. Even in animal kingdoms, it's not that. We look at animals, they produce kids as if it is just normal procedure of nature. No, they take care of their offspring. There is something there very deeply rooted in the divine. There is love of the mother to her kids. No? So that sacredness of marriage. I wish I would be like 18 and would start my life with this understanding. I would never do what I did anymore. But, well, better later than never.
No, Vladimir, you did well. You did well with whatever you did. Don't feel like going back and repeating.
Yeah,
It
could be
was meant
better
to
done,
be.
could be more conscious, could be choices, conscious choices.
Yeah, we all want that. Wish we could have been more conscious earlier in life.
Next life.
Next life,
time.
absolutely.
Next
Let's
time.
keep it for the next life. All right. Any other thoughts about things? Thank you, Angela, for this. I will check with this. Butea monosperma. Oh, monosperma. Interesting. We will look into it and see what it means. Beginning of the supramental realization. So wonderful. It fits so well for this.
Yeah, and then there's another one. the solid steadfastness. That's the
Bombaks.
Shalmali.
Solid steadfastness in the material consciousness. You see how beautifully it fits, these two. These two are the qualities of that chariot, where chariot means it moves somewhere. It has an aim. It has already the constitution of that particular aim in itself. Thank you. This is beautiful. I will check with these because I want to know more about them. It may give some insight to the verses. Let me connect. Great. Any other things? No? Okay. All right, then I will close with mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This mantra fits to this aim. Yeah. May nobody partake of suffering. This Vishwavas, the universal Godhead. Great. Okay, see you next time. We will continue our journey with this hymn. Namaste.